morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Bryce Trpkosh, and I will be the first presenter of this presentation. The next presenter will be Caden Webb. The final presenter will be Cameron LaGrange, and we will be presenting the automation of construction equipment. What is automation? For those of you who don't know what automation is the use of robotics or automatic equipment in a system of manufacturing or other production processes. Examples of automation in construction include autonomous machines, which are self-driving machines, drones, which are remote-controlled machines that help the planning of the project. Another example is robotics in concrete work, which are robots that help with the laying and pouring of concrete on the construction site. Demolition robots are another example of automation in construction, and they are the use of demolition robots to help demolish a freestanding project. IoT sensors are another example, and they are the use of sensors to help relay information from the machine back to the user. And finally, virtual reality, or VR, is an example of automation in construction sites, and they help with the planning and training for the project that is needed in order to complete it. First example of automation in construction sites that I'm going to go in more detail about is autonomous machines. Autonomous machines are self-driving machines that can be used to help transfer heavy equipment or materials across the job site without needing to be driven by a person. And they help with challenging tasks on the site that will not be able to achieve without a machine. They can be fitted with sensors to help navigate the construction site. This is done by providing a relevant path for the machine by removing obstacles and hazards out of its way in order to run smoothly. You can do this by hooking up it with GPS coordinates so it can be able to go from point A to point B. Also, you can program the machine to do certain tasks that you want it to achieve that might not be done by a common worker without the access to proper machinery. The next example is the use of drones. Drones can be used throughout the whole construction project process, but they're mainly used in the beginning. Drones can be used to help scan for hazards without putting people at risk. They can do this by throwing this in the air and flying it over the job site and having it look at the potential hazards of the site without having harm to people. They also can be used for surveying by topoing a certain area, and finally they can help with job inspections. The next speaker to present will be Caden Webb, and he will be going over more examples of how automation is used on a construction site.
Hi, I'm Caden Webb, and I will be your second presenter for this presentation. First, I'm going to talk about robotics, mainly in concrete. First off, robotics have been used really to control systems and keep everything uniform and just mix concrete, laying cement, polishing floors, and just removing surface waters of concrete. And robots have also been used to reduce the material consumption and the human error involved with pouring concrete. And there are also some robots that are used to polish soft concrete and just pour and level it in the proper portions. And next, I'm going to talk about demolition and demolition robots. The main purpose of demolition robots is just to make it safer for the workers that are going to be doing the demolition. Because just if you think about it, demolition is hard work. You're most likely going to be swinging some sort of a sledgehammer, and if you have robots doing it, your workers do lose the satisfaction of breaking stuff, but there's also less likelihood of them throwing out their backs swinging sledgehammers all the time. Next, I'm going to talk about IoT sensors. And IoT sensors are really just sensors and processors that trigger actions on machines from just triggers. And they also help process the data of the surrounding environment and the job site, which can be really helpful if say it rains and you want to know how the job site is going to react to rain for the future, like when you're pouring concrete. IoT sensors will really help you out there and just give you some good data so you know how the environment is going to react to conditions. Next, I'm going to talk about is virtual reality, or VR as I'm going to call it. And the real helpful purpose of VR is you can just put on a headset and give your client a simulation or just virtual experience of what their project that they're paying you for is going to end up looking like. And that can be really helpful, especially in like current times with the coronavirus pandemic and just being able to be socially distant while also helping review the work that's being done. And VR also helps with simulations for workers so they don't have to like go to the site to do trainings and stuff. They can just put on a VR headset or go into a simulation or like a flight simulator, but not for flying, for like crawling through a sewer pipe, for example, and do your training without actually having to be in real danger, but still learning and whatnot. So next I'm gonna throw it over to Cameron, and he's gonna bring the presentation on home. So yeah.
Cameron, I'm the third presenter in this video, and I'm going to be talking about advantages and disadvantages of automation. And then a little bit later, I'll be talking about companies pushing the envelope when it comes to automation. So for advantages, the first advantage of automation is the precision that it allows. It allows us to obtain a level of precision that generally isn't obtained by humans. And the next advantage is it replaces labor for more intensive jobs, excuse me. And the next advantages is it allows us to do more challenging tasks. So like what was mentioned earlier with the crawling around in sewer pipes, if we have some sort of automated camera or VR or another method to let us do that, it greatly reduces the challenge of that task. It also increases efficiency, decreases costs. So this is the general principle when it comes to automation, and it's the pro argument for automation. It also allows us to do work in dangerous sites, especially in the construction industry. This is a little different than other industries because the safety hazards that construction sites pose are significant and need to be really considered. And then overall, it decreases material cost and material waste. And then for disadvantages, obviously, increased unemployment is going to be big. Experts and professionals argue whether or not it's worth it or not due to the fact that lots of people will lose their jobs. Some other disadvantages are it's initially expensive, and this is largely due to the hard setup that comes with technologies. So, for example, you're going to need all sorts of tools and different moving parts when you want to set up an automated dozer or set up an automated excavator or whatever it is. It's going to need multiple parts to run that. And then lastly, another disadvantage is a long recovery for malfunctions. So generally due to the people that fix these, they just don't know how to fix them yet. So there is going to be that long recovery time when it comes to automated equipment. Next, I'm going to be covering specific firms that are pushing the envelope when it comes to automated equipment. So Styles Machinery, Trimble, Honda Gurry, United States Marine Corp, and Branch Technologies are all pushing that envelope. And the one that's interesting to me is United States Marine Corp. They have this technology that allows them to 3D print concrete. With this, they were able to make a pedestrian bridge. In conclusion, automation of construction equipment is kind of a hot topic. On one hand, you'll have people that say it's worth it with the cost and efficiency, and on the other hand, you'll say it's not worth it due to the job loss. Overall, thanks for watching our video. Here's our works cited. Thank you.